Hey, welcome back to this tutorial. So let me tell you a little story. I recently watched the music video from Disney from Encanto, and there I watched the music video for What Else Can I Do? The music video, and I noticed the roses pattern or flower patterns in the background, and I thought we could do something like this in geometry nodes. So I tried it and it's similar and we can do this. So let's go. We will be creating something like this in geometry nodes today. First of all, we can go on to Sketchfab. So this is a website where we can search for models that are ready to use, so you don't have to model them. And here we can, of course, we need a flower for this. So I'll search rose, and we want to download it. So click on downloadable, and then we can scroll down, and here I use this. You can use whatever flower you want, and you can click on here. I will link you this in the description so you don't have to search for this. And this is a pretty nice model. And then you can click here on download 3D model and then on the OBG one, and then click on download. And then we can start with this tutorial. So this was a relatively large intro, but now we are up to date. So we will be using the new 3.1 beta. I don't think we need that much of a new nodes, but we will always be using the newest Blender because the newest is the best. Sometimes. So let's delete everything and let's drag this window up, and we want to go into Geometry Nodes Editor to set up this. We want to have this rose pattern on a simple flat plane. So maybe like this. And then we can click on a new geometry node tree because we want to have a new geometry node tree. Does it make sense? I think so. So I'm thinking, do we import first the roses or do we make... I think we first make the roses, import the roses, we don't make them. Sorry. So let's create a new collection and call this roses, and we will be using a nice color, red. Nice, right? Yes. So then we have to go to the file because we want to import this. And since this is OBG, we want to click on OBG, and then we can import our roses. So before you have to unzip your zip files, otherwise it doesn't work. So then we have to search for it. You have to click on this .obg file, and then you can click on to import obg. And just like that, you have your rows. So we can go into EV mode or the texture mode. I don't know how this is exactly called. And we can see the texture is already there, but we have a problem because this is too much geometry. So there's a simple solution for it. I just take a decimate modifier and just have to look how much you can decimate, but that the detail is still a bit remaining. But the more you decimate, the faster is your geometry nodes. I think 0.2 or something like that. 0.01 is too much, right? Yes. 0.02 should work. And yes, it looks good. And then we can apply the modifier here on the top. And now we are good to go. We want to have different kinds of roses. So this is, let me add a lamp so we can see something here. So this is not realistic. This looks like stone or something like that. So let me go into EV circles, switch to GPU because way faster. And then I want to go into shading. So I want to have a little bit of subsurface scattering. So, and I want to have random walks, fixed radius. So it's not blue. Why ever it is blue. So maybe something like this looks fine. And yes, great. So we can call this pink rose. And I want to leave it there. And let's duplicate this one. Sorry for that. And I'll want to make this yellow one. And let's change it like this. So now it's yellow. It looks wonderful. And we can create even another one. And what should this be? This could be, let's try out. This could be, yes. This is purple. Let's do it like that. Nice. And now we have our 3 colors. For the sake of time, I will not use more colors. So now we can start. So we are 10 minutes in and we not even started. Sorry for that. So now we can go into our geometry node tree. And I want to have this light out of our roses collection. And we want to have points instead of our plane. And a lot of points. A lot of points. And so the entire effect is basically you take your points and then you will use an geometry separate geometry, and then you will use a texture to separate it into different masks of points, and then you will instance your colors individually on those extra regions. So let's try. We will be using a texture here, the Voronoi texture, and I'll drag the instance into the selection. And then let's use how can we clamp this? So the math node, right? Yes. So something like that. Is this? It's inverted, right? Ooh, so let's use a color ramp, our best friend. Set it to ease. Doesn't have a purpose here, but so now we have nice circles, and as I've said, you have now the one set of your mask and the other set. So now you can instance individually colors of your roses on them. So this is pretty simple, but it can be heavy in the future. This maybe, and now we can instance on them, instance on those points. Something like that. And we will be joining them back here. So I will lower the points because it can be heavy, because these are models. So you can import your models if you just drag and drop them here in. and then set it to, yeah, leave it there, and then drag the geometry into the instance, and you can see it looks wonderful. So let's click our rows and then strength and A, and we want to apply the scale and the rotation, and now they are facing upwards, and then we can scale it down, them down, and it looks pretty nice. So I think we can upper the count. Yes, it handles pretty well. And then we can use the purple one for the other, and here we have to use the same thing, so strength and A, and then want to apply the rotation and the scale, and then we want to scale them down the same way as the other ones. And we can't see a difference because we are in the viewport, so we have to go in the rendered mode, and here you can see, yay, we have rose patterns. Nice. So let's upper our lamp and make the strength way more, like this, and this looks wonderful. So they have currently all the same Z rotation, so let's change this. So we will be using for this combine XYZ node, and then plug them both into the rotation, and we will be using an random value node on the Z-axis, and then go crazy with the max value, and they are all random rotated on the Z-axis. Nice. So why are they so desaturated? Is it because I have plugged this in here? No, it doesn't change much. The roughness was completely up, and the specular is completely not there. So I will take the saturation up 1.5, and here the same, and it looks a bit better. 1.4 maybe, just like that. And we can see them in the viewport if we will go into the shading properties here, and in the viewport display we can change the color by the pink ones to pink and by the purple ones to purple. Oh, this was the red one. Sorry. I was distracted by the name. So you can save here. A quick reminder if you want to not lose your progress. So we can then maybe want to animate this. So we can go back to geometry nodes. And we want to have this to 40. Do we want to have this pulsing effect? I don't think so. So let us randomize this a little bit. Right? Is this a good thing? I think a little bit of randomization isn't bad, like this. And then we can use another noise texture to manipulate the Voronoi texture. So let's use an input the position, and nothing should change, right? And then we will be using a mix RGB texture to mix it with a noise texture, just like this. And it looks weird but interesting. So we have to change the scale on our noise texture. then we have to say how much it should be influencing this. So change it to linear light. This way it is much more predictable. And then we can set the scale down and change the type to 4D. And then we can start animating it with an input scene time node. And you can just plug the frame into the W. Before you have to set the noise texture to 4D, otherwise you don't have this socket. And we can see it's way too fast. And now we can use a math node. And since the tip was, and some people were saying we don't want to divide this, so let's use the multiply and use it 0.01 or something like this. And now you can see it animates. Nice. Let's make it maybe a bit faster like this. And if we would have more roses, this would look much better. And this is nice. So we could use also, so let's use another thing. We can also use the scene, the time on the max here. So now they are rotating, but let's make it slower with another multiply set to 0.1 maybe, right? Yes. So now they are moving a bit. So that is not as still as it looks like. And this is pretty nice. So you can even, you could use a set position here to manipulate the position of our points like this. Here you have your points from the beginning, and you can use them on the z-axis like this, on the offset, the combine XYZ node, and just use the output of our Voronoi texture. And you can see it's a bit extreme. So let's use another color ramp here. Just like that. And let's view it with our roses. So yeah, this is a bit extreme. So let's lower this a bit. So now it looks like this. Nice. So now we have this nice rose pattern. You can change this if you want to. And this looks nice and organic, right? But now we want to have a third color because we have also the yellow one. So let's change the viewport display on here. Let's make it yellow-ish, like this. And we want to have a third color. So how can we do this now? So we have our individual groups here, this one and this one. And we just have to make out of them another group. So let's use the separate geometry node again, and also on this one, and it should be looking the same. Yes. And now we want to use another texture on the selection on those. So let's use the, where is it? The wave texture. There. I didn't find it. So let's use this on the selection. And let's use another math node on here to change this. And we can see the scale is way too huge. So this should be fine. No. maybe like this. And I also want to have a slight distortion, so it's nice and organic. Like this. And now we have another group here, as you can see. And we can use that group to use our another color. So let's plug. So first of all, we have to join these two. And let's use it on another instance to points node and just drag it into the join geometry node at the end. So let's reconnect this also in here, so we have a randomized rotation in the z-axis, so the nice rotation of our roses. And let's use the yellow one this time, and let's plug it in here. And we can see, nice, they are not right around. So let's apply the rotation. And nice, we have our nice pattern, and this looks very nice. It's even faster than my previous one, so I don't know what we've done different, but nice. Nice performance. So I want to have also this texture animated, so let's use this position node again in the vector, and let's use a vector math node because we want to add in an individual axis, not in this one, not in this one, in this one. Yes. So we have this nice animation. So I want them a bit smaller. Yes, like this. And let's use an vec combine XYZ node, so we have the axis separately. And let's use this also on the x-axis. So now they are nice. And this is basically the whole effect. You can add whatever colors you want. Oh, we have to make this more saturated here. So just like that. And we can also use a sky texture here, just so it looks more beautiful, maybe like that. Maybe more air. Yes, nice. And we can use a camera then. And a nice thing to have is depth of field. Raise the f-stop up so you can see something where the focal point is. It's somewhere around there. And then you can upper it again. And then we can render the whole thing. So turn off the denoising, maybe 200 samples, 3 light bounces, turn off these, turn on fast GI, make them both 2, and always turn on persistent data if your computer can handle it. So nice. Then we can turn on denoising data and we can hit render. So now this piece is finished rendering, and then we can go into compositing, use nodes, and just fast use the denoiser. Just get all those paths to it, and then you're basically ready at the viewer. And yes, thank you for watching. I've put this file onto Gumroad. You can grab it if you want to. this one has much more things, so let's open it for you. This file looks like this. So you have even particles. So it is much more, so it is very slow, but you have here a fast mode, so you can turn that on. It just replaces the flowers with spheres, so you can manipulate this pattern a bit more fast, and you have a lot more control. So as said, you have the fast mode, then you have particles here. I turned them off because I don't needed them, but yes, it makes it also slow. But you have it, and yeah, you can grab this file if you want to. It is on my Gumroad, and yeah, you have a little bit more texture control also. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. It was fun to make, and yeah, you learn every time from Disney a bit. Thanks for watching. See you again.